The Monsterverse has captured millions of new kaiju fans and all of them want more showdowns between gigantic monsters. Since the next movie is scheduled for 2020 and no trailer is out yet, it has all but itched our minds even more. So to keep up the pace and the enthusiasm of this new extended universe, as fans of Godzilla and the new kaijus, we would like to dive into something not asked before. What if King Ghidorah and MUTO Prime were to fight one another? Both of them are alpha species, but there are stark differences between them. King Ghidorah comes from outer space and has a characteristic of total annihilation, while MUTO Prime only lives to propagate the species, being the most evolved of the Jinshin-Mushis and the most powerful. So to find out who will win in a deadly fight between these two titans that were the arch rivals of Godzilla and his species, the only two who were close to or even defeated the Godzilla individual species at some point of time. To get to the answer of this, we need to recheck the profiles and assess the strengths and weaknesses of these two monsters. Let's start with the lesser known of the two, the MUTO Prime, also dubbed as Titanus Jinshin-Mushi. She was a giant parasitic daikaiju that appears in the 2019 graphic novel Godzilla Aftershock. The ancient Japanese gave her the name Jinshin-Mushi, or the earthquake beetle, due to her ability to create earthquakes and her beetle-like appearance. Monarch names her MUTO Prime due to her being larger and more powerful than the regular MUTOs. The MUTO Prime is near identical in appearance to the regular female MUTO except for several notable differences. The MUTO Prime has a hardened outer shell with razor-sharp back spires on it, large orange glowing forelimbs, as well as several smaller pairs of forelimbs on her chest. This species of MUTO is bigger than the female MUTO, and by the looks of it in the graphic novel Aftershock, she seems to be at par with Godzilla in height. So let's assume that she stands between 350 and 400 feet tall. Around the year 1100 BCE, MUTO Prime encounters a member of Godzilla's species and the two titans engage in a ferocious battle. Eventually she gains the upper hand, beating down the Godzilla but not fully killing it. Using her ovipositors, she inserts the eggs into the stomach lining of the wounded Godzilla. In 2014, she resurfaced after the events of Godzilla killing the lesser MUTOs, and they dueled several times in many locations around the world until she nearly had Godzilla for the count, but was distracted by humans long enough for Godzilla to turn the tide of the battle and take the win with the use of his atomic pulse. It seems so familiar and similar to the fight between Godzilla and Ghidorah, where Godzilla was nearly killed by Monster Zero until he was distracted by the Orca device, giving Godzilla enough time to transform and take the win with the use of his atomic pulse. The MUTO Prime possessed tremor-inducing legs, making her capable of producing massive earthquakes. As explained by Dr. Emma Russell in the graphic novel, the MUTO Prime triggers these massive earthquakes in order to lure out members of Godzilla's species into a fight they cannot win. Throughout her life, MUTO Prime has killed several Godzillas, no easy feat for any titan, and successfully planted her eggs inside their bodies. She was able to knock down Godzilla himself with one hit. The MUTO Prime can use a powerful sonic roar able to shatter Godzilla's dorsal plates. The MUTO Prime's eyes will glow red when she uses the sonic roar, similar to how Godzilla's eyes glow blue when he uses his atomic breath. Her rivalry with the G-Man mirrors the one between Kong and the Skullcrawlers. So going to the other corner, we have King Ghidorah, also dubbed as the False King or Monster Zero, or scientifically named as Titanus Ghidorah. This monster needs no introduction as he is the most well-known of all the arch-enemies of the Big G. First appearing in 1964, this kaiju has appeared in several of Godzilla's films and portrayed as the ultimate foe of the Big G. In Monsterverse Remake, Ghidorah towers over all the other titans, standing at 521 feet tall and weighing at more than 140,000 tons, with a wingspan that is easily more than 1,000 feet across. But more than that, his outer space or alien biology give him resilience and immunity to many of humanity's weapons and even the attacks of other titans. As evident during his duels with Godzilla, when he was seen unscathed even with Godzilla's powerful atomic breath and Rodan's fiery nature. The fact that he was unaffected by the oxygen destroyer weapon that left Godzilla almost sleeping with the fishes, literally and metaphorically, shows that his body is by far one of the most durable and dense of all the titans. He could also make water vapor heat up to extreme levels and create localized storm systems. Ghidorah has the ability to bite down onto power lines as well as other titans and absorb the power to himself, significantly boosting his strength. Ghidorah could shoot golden gravity beams from his mouth, much like how Godzilla dorsal plates glow whenever he is about to release his atomic breath. Ghidorah's throat glows the same way before he fired his gravity beams. He was also able to regenerate one of his 3 heads that were decapitated by Godzilla almost instantaneously. So how do these two monsters compare against one another? while Ghidorah takes the cake for size and weight. Regarding durability, both these titans are nigh indestructible, even brushing off Godzilla's atomic breath, but both were killed by the atomic pulse. But if we talk about ranged attacks, then this time the MUTO Prime takes the win with her sonic roar powerful enough to shatter Godzilla's dorsal plates, a feat that not even the most powerful gravity beams can do. So it's a 1 win for Ghidorah and 1 for Prime and a draw. Let's dive into the other features that make these titans powerful and on top. MUTO Prime can create tremors and earthquake with her limbs, while Ghidorah can create localized storm systems. Both powers are a show of force, but neither can deal any damage to the other. Ghidorah, on the other hand, has amazing healing and regeneration capabilities, which might take this monster a 1-up over the Prime, which means that any damage done by the MUTO can be healed almost near instantaneously. The MUTO Prime, however, has another trick up her sleeves, the ovipositor. Just like certain species of wasp, she can insert her eggs inside the titan's body, leaving them to grow and suck the life off of it. But can the eggs survive in Ghidorah's strange oxygen-deficient biology, or will Ghidorah just rip them off along with parts of his body, but he can regenerate, so it won't matter? So do tell us what you think of this comparison. Which one takes the second place after Godzilla? Anyway, do like, share and subscribe, and hit the notification bell for regular and actual notifications.